All right, so welcome to another deep dive, you guys. Today, we're going to be exploring how to trade without letting our emotions, kind of get in the way.
Yeah.
We're diving into a segment from the Money Moves podcast,
Okay.
and they've got some pretty interesting strategies, for staying cool under pressure when the market's kind of going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So get this, right? Their main takeaway was that, the number one reason people lose money trading is because of their emotions.
Oh, wow.
And
It's crazy, right?
That is interesting, yeah. It might sound surprising at first, but when you really think about it, it kind of makes sense.
Right.
We all want to make money, we want to be successful,
Yeah.
but you throw fear and greed into the mix.
Oh, yeah.
That can really cloud your judgment
Yeah.
and make you do some pretty irrational things.
Ooh, that's already hitting home for me.
Really?
I've definitely, made some impulsive buys based on, pure FOMO,
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
But Money Moves is we can actually train ourselves.
To trade, more rationally, even if we're naturally emotional.
Yeah.
How do we do it? What's the secret?
Well, they break it down into 6 key steps,
Okay.
almost like a recipe for emotional discipline.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
A recipe. All right, let's unpack this recipe. What's
Okay.
the first ingredient?
So the first step is really all about setting some clear goals.
Okay.
Before you even think about placing a trade,
Mm-hmm.
you got to define what you want to achieve.
Right.
Are you looking for steady growth over time? Or are you hoping to score big on some high-risk, high-reward plays?
So it's about, being honest with yourself about your risk tolerance, right? Not trying to run a marathon before you can even walk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Setting those unrealistic goals, that's just a recipe for disappointment and burnout.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself up for failure, basically.
Right, right.
Let's say, for example, you have $10,000 to invest.
Okay.
Money Moves recommends risking only 1-2% of your account on any single trade. So in your case, that would mean risking between $100 and $200 per trade.
Got it.
This approach, it helps you stay grounded.
Right.
Avoid making emotionally charged decisions when things get a little volatile.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like having a safety net. So even if a trade goes south, it's not like the end of the world.
Exactly. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Okay. All right. So what's the next ingredient in this recipe for trading success?
So step 2 is all about crafting a rock-solid trading plan.
Okay.
This is where that discipline really comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Your trading plan is like a pilot's flight plan.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, it outlines your entry and exit points, risk management rules, even the times of day that you're going to dedicate to trading.
Wow.
You can think of it as your roadmap to success.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But what if the market throws you a curveball?
Uh-huh.
Like some unexpected news comes out and kind of changes everything.
Mm.
How much wiggle room do we have in that plan?
That's a great question. Your plan should be flexible enough to adapt to changing conditions.
Right.
But not so flexible that you're constantly second-guessing yourself.
Yeah.
It's a delicate balance.
For sure.
The key is to establish clear guidelines while acknowledging that some level of adaptation is kind of inevitable.
Right.
It's kind of like a recipe.
Okay.
You can swap out a few ingredients here and there,
Yeah.
but you don't want to completely deviate from the core instructions.
Got it. So I've got my goals. I've got my plan.
Mm.
What's next?
So step 3 tackles the often overlooked
Mm-hmm.
but critically important issue of position sizing.
Addition sizing. Okay.
This is about managing your risk.
Okay.
So one bad trade doesn't send you spiraling into an emotional tailspin.
Right. It's like they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you risk too much on a single trade, you're basically amplifying those emotional stakes,
Right.
which can lead to, those impulsive decisions.
Yeah, yeah.
So sticking to that 1-2% risk rule that we talked about earlier, that's so crucial.
Okay.
It helps you create that emotional buffer.
Right.
So you can stay rational even when your portfolio is bouncing up and down.
Okay, so we're managing our risk. We're not going all in on any one trade.
Right.
What's next on the list?
Step 4 introduces 2 powerful tools
Okay.
for taking the emotion out of trading decisions.
Right, lay them on me.
Stop losses and take profits.
Okay, for those of us who aren't seasoned traders,
Mm-hmm.
can you break those down? What are those exactly?
Absolutely. So a stop loss, it's like an insurance policy for your trade.
Okay.
It's an order you place to automatically sell a stock if it drops to a certain price.
So it's like a safety net so you don't fall too far.
Precisely, yeah. And then on the flip side, a take profit order automatically sells your stock when it reaches a predetermined price.
Okay.
locking in those profits.
I see.
This helps you avoid getting greedy
Mm-hmm.
and holding on for just a little longer, only to see those gains evaporate.
So stop losses protect you from like fear-driven decisions, and take profits protect you from getting too greedy.
Exactly. Yeah. And what's so fascinating here is that by pre-committing to these levels, you're essentially taking your emotions out of the equation.
Right.
You're telling your future self, hey, if this trade hits this point, we're out no matter how I feel in the moment.
That's so smart. It's like outsmarting your own emotional biases.
Exactly.
Okay, 2 more steps to go. What's next?
Step 5 might surprise you.
Oh, really? I like surprises. Lay it on me.
It's about self-reflection
Through
through a trading journal.
so more than just like tracking your wins and losses.
It's about understanding the why behind your trades.
Okay, yeah, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So after each trade, you want to take a few minutes
Okay.
to jot down your thought process.
Okay, so like what was going through my head when I made that trade?
Exactly. And what were your emotions during the trade? What did you learn?
It's like therapy for my trading habits. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. And over time,
You'll start to notice patterns, like what triggers those impulsive decisions.
Oh, interesting.
So you can start to recognize those red flags
Yeah.
and come up with strategies to deal with them.
So I can actually, change my behavior for the better.
Right. It's all about self-awareness and using that knowledge to improve,
Know thyself, as they say.
which leads perfectly into step 6, patience.
Patience, yeah, that's easier said than done, right?
Especially in the fast-paced world of trading.
Right, with everyone shouting about, the next big thing,
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in that fear of missing out.
That dreaded FOMO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But disciplined traders, they know that sometimes the best trade is no trade at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like resisting that urge to buy the latest gadget,
Mm-hmm.
even though, you don't really need it.
Exactly. Sometimes it's just wiser to wait and see.
Wait and see, okay.
Yeah.
So we've got these, 6 steps,
Yeah.
but how do they, actually play out in real life?
What does a day in the life of a disciplined trader actually look like?
So let's say you're starting your trading day,
Okay.
feeling pumped and ready to make some moves.
Okay. Yeah. I'm feeling that energy already.
Now, hold on. Before you jump into the market, a disciplined trader starts by reviewing their trading plan.
Okay. So it's like a pre-flight check, right? Making sure everything is in order.
Precisely. Reminding yourself of your goals,
Okay.
your strategies, your risk management rules.
Yeah.
No emotional trading allowed.
Setting the intention for the day.
Now, imagine you're scanning the market
Okay.
and you see a stock that's up 10%.
Ooh, FOMO alert. I'm
Yeah.
feeling that pull to buy in
Yeah.
before I miss out on all the gains,
This is where your discipline really comes in.
All right.
Instead of, impulsively hitting that buy button,
Uh-huh.
you consult your trading plan.
Right. I check my plan. I see if this stock even aligns with my criteria.
Exactly.
Does it fit into my strategy?
And let's say it doesn't. This is a risky move that could derail your long-term goals.
But it's still so tempting. Like, how do I resist that urge?
You trust the process that you've created for yourself.
Okay.
Remember, you built that plan for a reason
Yeah.
to guide your decisions, protect you from those emotional pitfalls.
So even if it feels like I'm missing out in the short term,
Mm-hmm.
sticking to my plan is actually the best way to protect myself in the long run.
Now, let's say you enter a trade
Okay.
based on your plan,
Uh-huh.
but the stock starts to dip.
Uh-oh, here comes the fear,
Yeah.
I'm starting to second guess myself.
This is where your predetermined stop loss comes in.
Right.
You set that stop loss for a reason,
Okay.
to limit your potential losses
Right.
and prevent you from making an emotional decision in the heat of the moment.
So even if it's scary to watch that stock dropping,
Mm-hmm.
I need to trust that my stop loss will kick in and protect me.
Exactly. And on the flip side,
Okay.
let's say the trade is going amazingly well. You're up 15%.
Woohoo. Greed is definitely knocking at the door now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I should hold on a little longer, see if I can make even more.
This is where your take profit order becomes your best friend.
Right.
You set that target for a reason.
Uh-huh.
Hitting that target is a win.
Okay.
Don't let greed tempt you to stay in the trade longer than your plan allows.
It's all about setting those boundaries, sticking to them,
Yeah.
no matter what my emotions are telling me.
Discipline is about managing your emotions
Okay.
as much as it is about managing your money.
That's a really good point. This is making me realize,
Uh-huh.
I need to work on my patience, not just in trading, but in other areas of my life as what?
It's a valuable skill to have,
Yeah.
in any context. And the beauty of it is
Yeah.
that the more you practice discipline in one area,
Okay.
it kind of spills over into other parts of your life.
That's so true. All right, last question before we wrap up. What happens at the end of the trading day?
Time for your trading journal.
Ah, yes.
A disciplined trader reviews their trades,
Hmm.
analyzes their decisions, identifies any areas where they could improve.
So it's not just about celebrating the wins or lamenting the losses. It's about, like, learning from every experience.
Exactly, turning those experiences into valuable data points
Wow.
that you can use to refine your approach
Yeah.
and make even better decisions in the future.
This is making me think that disciplined trading isn't just about maximizing profits, right? It's also about, like, minimizing stress,
Right.
making the whole process more enjoyable.
Exactly.
I love that. Like,
Yeah.
trading with a calm, clear mind,
Yeah.
it just feels so much more sustainable in the long run.
And the best part is anyone can develop these skills, It's not about being a financial genius. It's about mastering your mindset,
Yeah.
making a commitment to consistent, disciplined action.
This has been great. I'm feeling inspired. So what's next? You know what's really cool about all this?
What's that?
Is that it's not just about trading, right?
Right.
It's about, like, life in general.
Yeah. Yeah, it applies to so much more than just buying and selling stocks.
Yeah, it's like these hidden principles of, like, decision-making
Mm-hmm.
that can help us, in any situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about it. How often do you make a purchase
Yeah.
based on impulse, Or let your emotions dictate your spending habits?
Oh, guilty as charged. Like, that limited time offer
Oh, yeah.
always gets me.
We've all been there, but by applying, these principles of disciplined trading
Okay.
to our personal finances,
Yeah.
we can start to make more conscious, intentional choices
Mm-hmm.
about how we spend and save our money.
So, like, creating a budget and actually sticking to it,
Exactly.
not letting those emotional triggers,
Yeah.
derail our financial goals.
It's not just about money either. These principles, they apply to our relationships, our health, even like our personal growth.
So how can we use, like, these trading principles to improve our relationships?
Think about the concept of patience,
Fun.
just like in trading.
Huh?
Sometimes the best approach in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
is to, wait, observe,
Okay.
and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively.
Yeah. So instead of blowing up at your partner during, like, an argument,
Mm-hmm.
take a step back, take a deep breath, try to see things from their perspective.
Exactly. And what about risk management?
Yeah.
In relationships,
Yeah.
just like in trading, it's important to, set boundaries,
Uh,
protect ourselves from potential harm.
right.
So that might mean like having those tough conversations
Okay.
about expectations and deal breakers early on
Right.
rather than avoiding them out of fear.
Right.
And, just like a trading journal helps us, track our progress, identify areas for improvement,
Yeah.
that regular self-reflection.
Can help us become more aware of our patterns and relationships,
Oh, wow.
our strengths and weeknesses.
This is like blowing my mind. It's like
Yeah.
these principles are like universal tools for self-mastery.
Mm-hmm.
It's about understanding our own psychology
Yeah.
and using that knowledge to like create a life that's aligned with our values.
That's beautifully put.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's about taking control of our emotions rather than letting them control us.
Okay, I'm feeling so empowered by this conversation.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's like a whole new way of looking at like decision making, not just in trading, but in like every area of life.
And remember, it's not about being perfect.
Okay.
It's about progress, not perfection.
So it's okay to stumble along the way, right?
Yeah.
As long as we're learning from those mistakes, keep moving forward.
Exactly. It's a journey
Yeah.
of continuous learning and growth.
This has been amazing. I can't thank you enough for like sharing your wisdom with us.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah.
It's really been an eye-opener.
I'm glad to hear that. It's always rewarding to, kind of dive deep into these topics,
Yeah.
uncover these like hidden gems of knowledge.
So for our listeners out there, like, what's
Yeah.
one key takeaway
Hmm.
you want them to remember from this conversation?
I'd say this. You have the power to choose
Okay.
how you respond to the world around you
Mm-hmm.
by understanding your emotions, setting clear goals,
Okay.
practicing discipline.
Yeah.
You can create a life of greater intention,
Mm-hmm.
purpose, and fulfillment.
Such a powerful message to end on. So thank you again for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course.
And to all of our listeners out there,
Yeah.
keep exploring, keep learning, keep striving for that mastery,
Absolutely.
in your finances, in your relationships,
Yeah.
in your life.
Until next time.